The water was too quiet that day, as if it knew something terrible was about to happen. I stood on the shore, watching the big ship anchored nearby. It was the kind of ship we had come to fear, the kind that brought misery to our people. The ship had come from across the ocean, carrying men, women, and children taken from their villages, stolen to be sold as slaves. Their hands and feet were chained, but their spirits didn't seem broken. I watched from the trees, hidden from sight, as the captors backed orders. Their voices were harsh, sharp like a blade cutting through the humid air. The captives stumbled off the ship, chained together, their steps unsteady after so long on the water. They looked exhausted, skin pale and eyes hollow, but there was something else in their gaze, something fierce, like a flame refusing to die. As the captors dragged them onto the land, the group began to gather closer. They spoke to each other in low voices, words I couldn't understand but felt were important. It sounded like a prayer, a song, or a chant, and it grew louder with every passing moment. The captors became uneasy. They yelled louder, waved their guns, and tried to push the group apart. But the captives stood their ground. One of them, a tall man with a strong voice, spoke to the others in their language. His words were calm but powerful. It was as if he had reminded them of something bigger than their fear. Then, they moved. Not toward the captors or the land where they were meant to be sold, but toward the water. The tall man led them, and the others followed without hesitation. I held my breath, my heart pounding. The captors panicked. They shouted, raised their weapons, and tried to stop them. Some of them fired into the air, but the captives didn't flinch. They walked as one, their chains clinking like a strange kind of music. Step by step, they moved into the creek, the water rising higher and higher until it reached their waist, their chests, their necks. And then they were gone. The captors ran to the shore, shouting, searching, but the water was still. The creek had swallowed them whole. I stood there, frozen, feeling the weight of what I had just witnessed. These people had chosen the water over chains, death over slavery, freedom in their own way over a life of suffering. For a long time, I stayed on the shore, staring at the rippling water. It felt alive, as if it had taken their spirits into its depths. Even now, I hear them sometimes when the wind brushes through the trees, their voices like a song carried by the waves. They were gone, but they left something behind, something no one could ever chain or sell. They reminded me, and maybe the world, that true freedom lives in the soul.